Okay, awesome. So to start out, who are you?
Tim Griffin. I'm the former Chief Operating Officer for ALN Medical Management.
Awesome. And how long did you work in your role?
23 years.
Awesome. What industry are you a representative of in the organization, and what was your role in ALN?
Healthcare Services Industry Chief Operating Officer.
Were you the chief operating officer the entire time?
Yes.
You awesome. Could you expand on like a little bit of what like your role specifically meant in like a daily setting and just kind of what your job entailed?
I was responsible for all of the delivery of our services across the whole organization. So we delivered IT services and revenue cycle management services for physician practices. And all of the um, operational employees reported to me, which was about 170 people across the organization, plus another 100 people or so offshore in India.
Okay, awesome. During your time at ALN, what was your greatest career achievement in your role?
Well, we successfully exited. We're able to sell the company after 23 years, had a successful sale. So that's probably, um, over from a high level, biggest achievement. But I would say that I would consider my greatest success the people that I developed into leadership roles over the years.
Awesome. Just to go a little bit more into detail with that, what was the time period of that and like the people, products, or services that were involved?
Well, like I said, we were going for about 23 years, and the services were we hosted IT systems and did all the back office functions for physician practices, which included medical billing, accounting, credentialing, things that did not have to, be inside the physician practice, but could be done remotely. So those were our services.
Awesome. And what management principles, strategies, or processes did you employ that you believe led to this effective organizational outcome?
I think the most important thing is to find the right leaders and develop them. I think that's the thing that I enjoyed the most and was the most successful at is if you can find the right people and get them in the right roles and empower them, provide them resources. People can often, exceed, uh, even what they believe that they can do. But you have to believe in them and support them. And I think that style of leadership, it's sort of a servant leadership model. And I think, serving the people that work for you is the best way to get them to achieve their potential.
Yeah, that's good.
The other
With
principles I think were really important for us is we measured a lot of things and we were very data oriented, and that helped hold people accountable because the facts don't lie. So when you have good measurements in place, people takes the emotion out of the discussion.
mm,
So I think measuring processes and um, developing good processes release people to do good work.
yeah, definitely. So with like your biggest career achievement, would you say just like going forward with the questions, focusing mostly on the growth of people, would you say is that the biggest career achievement you had was like the impact you had on others?
Definitely developing leaders,
Okay,
seeing leaders grow was the most gratifying thing for me. I mean, we
gotcha.
achieved a lot of success as a company, to helping our customers grow and become successful, but seeing my leadership team, growing them up, and even when people left our organization and went to work for other organizations, they succeeded because of how they were developed at ALN.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, now I'm going to ask you, um, I like that you talked about servant leadership because that is what I'm going to be asking you. Just on a scale of 1 to 5, what extent did you utilize each of these skills towards your greatest achievement of creating leaders? So the first 1 is never used and 5 is used always. So the first one is listening.
I'd say 4.
I'm actually gonna
Learned how
write.
to learned how to be a better listener as the years went on. I don't know if I was a great listener early on, but I learned. I think I was a good listener as I matured into a leader.
Yeah. What about empathy?
Could be better at that. I was probably a 3. It's really important. I just wasn't great at it.
Healing. And if at any time you need like definitions of these, let me know.
Yeah, what's the definition?
Healing, actually, I'll pull it up in my textbook just to make sure I give you the correct definition. Okay, sorry. Okay. Um, it just says some team members may come to you from a previous job that is really toxic. That's a really toxic work environment, and you can have the privilege to help them heal. So healing is as simple as creating healthy work environments and a work-life balance, but giving people the tools they need to succeed so they feel like a valued member of the team. But just like being able to take people's problems and like heal them to
Better
like be able to
environment.
build them up. Yeah.
Probably 4.
What about awareness?
Um, I'd say 4.
Persuasion.
I think 5. I think I was pretty persuasive.
All right. And conceptualization.
I'm good at conceptualization.
Foresight.
Probably 4.
Stewardship.
Uh, Probably 4.
The commitment to the growth of people.
5.
And interest in building community.
5.
Okay, awesome. For the next question, um, what was one significant challenge that you previously faced in your role, and how did you handle it, and what was the outcome?
I think there's a lot of them. Excuse me. I think one of the biggest challenges was when we had to buy the company back from our investors. My partner and I took venture capital investment. It wasn't going well. And we had to figure out how to find some new investors to buy out the old investors and get control, because we had lost control of the company.
Mm.
The investors had control, and we had to buy it back to get control. And that was the outcome, is we successfully got control back and were able to move forward. That was probably one of the biggest turning points in our company.
Sure. What was the time period of that challenge?
09, we
And
bought
do
it.
you oh, sorry, go ahead.
We bought it back in 09. So it was, we started the company in 2000. So it was 9 years after we started.
Okay. And do you recall the market conditions at the time?
They were horrible, which is why we were able to buy it back, because our investors had taken loans from the bank and weren't able to pay the bank back. And so the bank called us, and we were able to come up with some money to pay their loans back, and that got us the company back.
Okay, awesome. Now with that in mind, that challenge, on a scale of 1 to 5, we'll be going through the same characteristics. What extent did you utilize each of these skills in overcoming the significant challenge? And I'll just write them down. But for the first one, listening,
4,
empathy,
3,
healing,
well, we were trying to create a better culture, so probably 4,
awareness,
5,
persuasion,
5,
conceptualization,
5,
foresight,
5,
stewardship,
probably 4.
the commitment to the growth of people.
Well, we wanted to keep going, so that was one of our big drivers. So probably 4.
Okay. And then lastly, building or interest in building community.
Yeah, we were trying to change the culture, get rid of our bad investors. So probably 4.
Awesome. What was the mission, vision, and strategy of the organization, and how were they accomplished?
um, our mission and vision was to help help turn good physician practices into great businesses. That was our mission statement. And sorry, Ollie's looking at me because he needs to go outside. And our strategy was to to create an operations center in a place that had good values, good work ethic, and was reasonable costs, which is why we picked Lincoln, or why we ended up in Lincoln, and also why we ended up outsourcing some of the work to India. So that was part of the strategy, is to leverage technology, to leverage offshore partnerships and to leverage, you know, a place like Lincoln for our U.S. based operations. That was our strategy. What was your other question?
Um, just how this was accomplished, like your mission and vision and strategy. But you kind
Yeah,
of answered that.
that's how
Yeah.
we accomplished it.
Okay, awesome. And then, how essential would you say the entrepreneurial mindset in achieving your mission, vision, and strategy of the organization was?
Critical, absolutely, very important. Yeah, I don't know how you can build a company successfully without having an entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, okay, for this part of the interview, I'll be just asking you a little bit more about your entrepreneurial mindset. So on a scale of 1 to 5, what extent did you utilize each of these skills in the respect to an entrepreneurial mindset during your time at ALN? The first one, again, the scale's 1 to 5, 1 being never used and 5 being used always. Um, the first one is risk propensity. And if at any time you need me to define
Four,
anything. Okay. Generalized self-efficacy.
four,
The need to achieve.
five,
The need for autonomy.
four,
Okay. And then this is the big 5 personality traits. So just like with your entrepreneurial mindset, um, on a scale of 1 to 5, these different personality traits. The first one is extroversion,
three,
agreeableness,
four,
conscientiousness,
four,
emotional stability,
five,
openness to experience.
four,
Um, I'll continue. These are not the personality traits, but these are continued skills. Your tolerance for ambiguity,
five,
positive intentions and attitudes,
four,
proactivity and work ethic,
five,
internal locus of control. Do you know
four.
what that is? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And innovative slash creativity.
Four,
Awesome. Okay, for the last question, apart from servant leadership and the entrepreneurial mindset, what are 2 significant lessons or attributes that are essential for success? Describe anything that you wish you would have specifically avoided that may have derailed or delayed your success. So starting out just with the 2 significant lessons or attributes that you think are successful or essential for your success.
what you say no to.
Um, do you have a second one as well?
Uh, recruit the right leaders.
Okay. And then do you have anything that you wish you would have specifically avoided that may have derailed or delayed the success that you had during your time at ALN?
Yeah, venture capital investment. Shouldn't have done that.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that was all the questions that I had for you. I appreciate your time. I'll
Mm,
stop the recording.